So I was sitting down after putting the other video, airdropping it to my MacBook, and I was thinking about how it ended. And I felt undone. What felt undone is that the last statement of I'm going to give my time to say more words. It feels incomplete because I feel that way, and I exist within a schedule that affords that time. I don't have 6 kids. I don't have 1 kid. I went to 6 because my sister has 6. Not that my sister doesn't make time. Beside the point. I'm going to get back to it. Yeah, I have a recognition that the society in which we live, this country, America, and many other places, is not set up in a way that affords people ample time. It requires time is a resource. I am a resource. And I give my time. I give myself to whatever I give it to, and then they have that resource that is me. And the country in which I live, it is difficult to have there are a lot of this country the system that I find myself in, it feels like, well, it requires a lot of resources for the functioning of our country, for it to function, and for what is it that I want to say? Time is money. Let's start with that. That's an emotional connection. That, yeah, that's an emotional connection that I think reflects that money allows for time. Money allows for me to not have to. The resource that is me is what I give to a job in which they pay for. And with the money that they pay for, I can then afford the comforts of American society. House, car, an afternoon. Wi-Fi, food, water, huge. Temperature regulation, clothing. All of these things are within my reach if I simply have enough money. And the resource that is me, that is my time, it can get me money if I, it depends. Well, no, it can. Everyone can make money with their time by giving it. It's just the amount and doing what. What makes money is changing, has changed over the time. Food and weapons. I'd be curious, actually. I don't have any information other than anime, movies, and YouTube videos as to what's the origin, or what is the evolution of value over the course of human history, of what has had value placed in it. And yeah, now I see it's entertainment, war, convenience. Illness. Feel like my understanding, I feel like my understanding of the United States of America is those are where its values are placed highest, as that is where I recognize tech. Duh. I gotta place tech in convenience because that's what I understand all technology to do, is increase ease at a job or work. Yeah. Increase ease of work. That is what I understand tech to be. And saying them separately feels right. It felt necessary as I did it. So these are the fields that that's where I see the money. Did I say agriculture? Food? Did I say that? If not, then that. Because there is money. If I didn't say it, it's because I feel like there's more of a monopolization of food, and yet that doesn't discount it from being a source of money. I want to look at the camera and talk. I want to look at, and behind you is a deck with some technology, a lawnmower and a wheelbarrow attachment to the lawnmower, and just a straight up wheelbarrow. Yeah, so this is what we give our. That's where I see the big money making. That's the umbrella of where I see our interest in money goes. Because people who big donors, big huge philanthropists, they they make money elsewhere and then give it to help people. Um, like helping people doesn't make money. Well, no, that's untrue, actually, because increasing convenience can help, and technologies for recycling can make money potentially. Some have, and that does help people. Same with medicine. Oh, I said illness because it's not just medicine. There's also money in attempting to cure people, which I guess, well, because it's not all. I mean, yeah, because that would be massage therapists and the like. So there is money in helping people. That's not a true statement. Because there's money. There's money in everything. It's the and I think that kind of gets to a piece that I don't. Mm, so we can make money not helping people. There it is. Sometimes there's more money in not helping people, and that's where the rub comes for me. How much money is to be made in harming people? And it's also even that statement. It's not a ubiquitous. I enjoy competitive fighting, UFC, boxing, Muay Thai. Hey, I'm not. I don't watch jujitsu much except for Instagram jujitsu. I see it applied in the UFC, and when I watch pure jujitsu, as I don't do it, and I am ignorant to what I am seeing, I'm not sure what's happening. That's all. Not sure what's happening. It's kind of rolling around. Sometimes I see something that looks like someone's about to do something. Oh, that looks like that might hurt. And oh, it does. That football, rugby, really every sport where people are touching, are allowed to touch each other. That's it's like competitive fighting a little. It's over a ball. And it's all consensual, so I'm team that. I'm speaking of team sports because I started thinking about the military because that's an area of spending that I'm uncertain of. I am familiar and have had conversations with those who have served. I'm not sure if I've. Yeah. No, I've talked. No, I'm not. I don't think I've talked to someone. Yes, I have. While serving. That's untrue. I have had conversations with people while serving. And. And that's as. That, YouTube, movies, that's where all of my information of the. Well, no, my dad was in the military. Again, yeah, conversation still. That falls into it. That all falls into it. I don't have any personal experience of being in the military. I am not sure what's going on in there. I'm not sure. And I have ignorant thoughts. Is there a way to focus on defensive military instead of offensive military? Is there a way we can make the U.S. impenetrable? I watch anime and I see how powerful magic can be. I've seen magic cover entire continents. I've seen it before my eyes on a screen. And because of that, I believe there is a technological way to achieve something vaguely similar to that. Because technology is our magic. We throw up a middle finger to space and say, I can communicate with you, and we don't even need to occupy the same space. I don't have to vibrate molecules in order for you. Well, I guess I do have to vibrate molecules. I can vibrate molecules that never reach who it is that I'm reaching for. Does this electronic signal? Well, in watching this video, the molecules that are around me now that are being vibrated will not be the ones that are vibrated when the video is watched. We are capturing the moment. Time. We are capturing time. I keep wanting to say time and then I don't want to say time, and that's the whole thing about time. And yet it feels we are capturing time, which feels magical. So, in my ignorant mind, influenced by cartoons, I had a moment of, do I say anime or cartoons? Like, it's anime. And then I was like, well, it's not a cartoon. It's I don't want that conversation. It was, it was, I was birthed from something I've seen recently, and I don't want to have that conversation as I enjoyed the way that what I saw had the conversation. So, because the conversation I'm having is about the magic dome over America. I mean, I'd like to have every country have one. I'd like there to be a magic dome over all civilization so that no bombs can ever be dropped on anyone anywhere. So in my ignorance, can someone explain to me why that's not possible? Well, I understand why it's not happening now, but I mean, why is it not a worthwhile endeavor to pursue? There it is. There it is. That's the that's the one I wanted. I think the answer is money. In my ignorance and I imagine the answer is money. There may not be. Feels like it. I get a gut feeling. And I don't like to listen to those always. I would genuinely like a detailed understanding as to why not even worth a department of Magic Dome, right? Just so that I understand. All right, cool. Somebody's thinking about it. At least, right? I'd like that. So that's the question. That is the question. Why not a? I assume it would be fall under the Department of Defense. Uh, can we have within that the magic? Don't the how do we? I say we also because we're paying for it. I realize I that's my contribution to all this is tax money, and voting. Sometimes I don't vote on everything that comes across. I've used the word ignorant several times in this recent moment, and yeah, ballots will come up, and I feel so ignorant, and a vote would be chaotic, a chaotic decision in that I may grab a hold of something within this that feels vaguely metricable that I can use to make a decision. Oh, and I don't want to put the time in. I don't want to allocate the resource of me to doing all the research and understanding because they don't come with YouTube videos. this is another question I would like to be answered. Can we, with every thing that we vote for, that person has got to make a government paid for, I'm happy for my tax dollars to go to this, a government funded YouTube video about whatever the thing is that we're voting. And the people should have to have government funded YouTube pages that they all talk about the same issue. And they have to make YouTube videos about everything, explaining how they feel and why and all this stuff. We have a nation of young YouTubers that we could instantly give government jobs to. Talk about stability for the youth. Happy for my tax dollars to go to that. So that's why I don't vote on all the issues when I feel that the vote is overly chaotic. And because even some of the ones that I do vote for, voting for president feels sometimes it's a guess at best at what I think might. It's a response to fear. I'm definitely an environmental voter. That's a huge, because I don't want this to go away. I exist in climate, and if climate changes in a way that I am unable to keep up, I'm not going to be able to exist in the environment that is the climate. So I'm very climate, take my money. I'm happy for my tax dollars to go to climate. And if I understood and saw that was what was happening and they wanted to raise, I personally, yeah. That'd be cool if that was also an option where I could, like, yeah, I'll pay. This is the everyone in America pays, right? And then this is I mean, you live in America, but you live in a slightly less stressful America. You're in a neighborhood where all your needs are met, so you can pay a little more. And then there's the, hey, can we borrow some money? There's that tier. And if you're in there, you can decide, yeah, you could pay, here's the increase that we would like from you, if you don't mind. Not going to force you. We're going to ask you. And then, but here's you are, because you live here, can't get past it. I think many of them would. And then the ones that don't would tell us a lot. Like, oh, you had the choice to. Right there, clear, dotted line. And you just said, nah. Okay. That's fine. Depending on who it is, I'm still going to... I don't know if Bezos would do it. That's what I'm thinking, because immediately I'd still use Amazon, man. It keeps me inside, in my safe space. Amazon allows me to be comfy on the couch and still get this stuff. I don't have to go out into the chaos that is the emotional chaos that exists out in reality, out in America. Every time I go out there, I hear emotions. Beep, beep, what the hey girl, how you all right, now I'm trailing that thought. Happy to give my money to the climate. That's where we get water from. What does the word climate actually? What is the actual textbook of climate? Or am I? I think I'm using my understanding of nature, or the temperature and precipitation. I look at as being factors of climate. And I understand precipitation requires water, and so it feels like water comes from the climate. And I'm not sure if, given the actual definition of the word, that makes any sense at all. Me saying that water comes from the climate may be nonsense and feels right. Oh, I say a lot. I've always quantifying. I speak in nonsense. I have spoken in nonsense, and I would like to not speak in nonsense, and I will speak in nonsense. Maybe. I don't know. That feels. I'm throwing the line out too far. Anyway, time. Thinking. Well, we were talking about money, and I got to money from time. A little. More money. More money stuff. Well, I want to talk about money more. I'm going to talk about money. It's not what I want. It's what I'm doing. I'm doing it. That's what I'm doing. I also am intimidated by money. The idea, it's the concept, there's an intimidation factor as one, I am not fluent in the language of money. I have a few key phrases and understandings. The IRA, Roth SEP, the IRAs, I have a general understanding of. Crypto, I have a general understanding of, which is definitely, which I feel is more guess than research based. Uh, it's kind of just rolling dice with in there. But savings account, bonds, CDs. That's that's the gist of it. An accountant, that's a big one. When tax season comes around, oh my, my ineptitude in the language of money is just just thrown in my face. And every time, not every, and when I see those forms, I feel that intellectual insecurity that I don't understand this. I don't. What am I reading? This is a this and but what as I believe it's so precise. It's intended to be incredibly and confusingly precise. And I can feel my lack of precision trying to get in operation, trying to get the bone or the organ out with the tweezers. Oh yeah. Give you a break. Yo, my bicep. This is my mic bicep. That's not how. That doesn't cause hypertrophy. um, yeah, money. It's this, yeah, the language of money that I don't speak. And when I hear people speak it, or when they speak it to me, and I get that blank look on my face, yeah, yes, yes, you're, well, okay, no, I got 1099, W2, I-9, W4. I got some of those words, but here's the thing. I can't even think of a word that I don't have. Any word I think of is a word that I have. And when I look at the paper, there are words. I my fear sometimes doesn't even allow me to really read it. It's a glance. It's okay. Let me look at the numbers. Oh, number. I feel comfortable because I understand what 1,000 is, and so in money, I understand what that is. That's the easiest part of money is the counting it. Just the how much is there. Oh, I could do that. And then just we do math. Oh, so I have 1,000 and then I get 5,000 and then I have 6,000. That part I feel so comfortable in. When I was a kid, not when I was a kid, before I went to college, I thought that's what accounting was, just that part. Yeah, look at all these. We just got these numbers here and those numbers there, and we put them together, and we got this number. And it's so much more than that. And once I understood that, and then I took a communications class where it was just about talking and how people understand talking. I want to be here. I don't want to do that. This language I understand. People talk. I get it. And then you can sell them things by talking to them. Got it. Advertising. Also, making money feels intimidating. Just thinking about all the things I need, all the things I will need, all the things I want, all the things I will need to get what I want, and inflation. Scared. How will I, how can I make enough money to survive all of that? Because without enough money, I won't even be able to afford what I need to survive: food, water, shelter, medicine. I understand those are the things that I need to survive. And they all are not guaranteed here where I live. They are behind a paywall that continues to grow. And I am not certain if I can keep up. I fear that I won't keep up with the growth of that wall. Doesn't I sometimes, not sometimes, I had the mental image of a walkway that is crumbling. No, a wall that moves this way, and then I'm running, staying in front of the wall, and if it overtakes me, I'm behind the wall. And being behind the wall, it's harder to get in front of the wall from behind the wall. It requires a lot of time. And we're back. And we are back, baby. Now, it is time. I recognize the time that it takes to stay in front of that wall in this society. And I look at time as being simply what I am. I thought of time as this force that existed outside of me, this thing that was moving. And we're all moving through it together. And it is affecting us. And it is why I age. Because time is affecting me. I'm being radiated with time. And it's causing me to age. Those understandings that I had, well, I don't see time as something that is radiating. I see it as something that is happening now. I don't see it as something out there. It just is what is. In a sense, I'm unable to go get a sample of 5 minutes, put it under a microscope, and study the 5 minutes to learn what it's made of. That's not how that works. The seconds weren't discovered by Dr. Sekiondes. That's not how that happened. Seconds were derived. Time was derived from what we saw. It's a measurement, the way it's our measurement of the sun. And it gives us a consistent framework in which to organize our society. And yet it isn't physical. It's conceptual. So when I think about things associated with time, I understand that those things are conceptual. The idea of a timeline is conceptual because in reality, there is only now. There is a point of time that we exist in. A point of existence that we exist in. And we measure our existence in what we call time. So when I think about what I'm giving, when I say what I'm giving, when I'm giving my time, when I think about what is physically happening, so I am giving myself to whatever I am talking about. When I give myself to a job, like I am giving that job a limited resource. I am a limited resource. I won't exist forever. I won't. I'm gonna die. No matter how much I fuss about it, how much I hufflepuff about it, I'm gonna die. And so I'm giving a limited resource. Which is why, as the wall moves faster, I don't have more of me to give than me. Does that make sense? Is that what I want to say? Is that what I want to say? If I am giving all that I can to the job, and the job isn't giving me enough money to catch the wall, then as the wall gets faster, I will get farther behind. And that gap increase feels, I fear that gap increase becoming exponential to a point where I will never catch the wall. So I have this fear. And I recognize that given time being my limited resource, when this fear activates, it wants to save time. It wants to save the resource that is me. And that is when the decisions that choose expediency happen. I understand that me rushing is my attempt to save myself. All the emotions. They want to protect me. They want to keep me safe. And so, when I was speaking about love and all of those, the language of love and how it, and wanting to speak more broadly, I also understand that rushing, or that the language of love may be, well, not maybe, the language of love will make sense to me. The language of love, it's not that it didn't make sense to me. Now I'm walking myself into I'm walking away from what I was saying, and I'm trying to connect something, and I feel that I'm missing the wanting to save time. Oh yeah, language that save time makes language that say I understand language that saves time as it is akin to saving ourselves. I understand the connection between that. And I felt that what I had said earlier didn't convey that. That I yeah, because it ended the way that it did, on the note that it ended on, that is what I felt was missing from that sentiment. And then I got gabbing. Then I was talking, and then I brought it all. Yeah. Yeah, because my original point in the other video was why I choose not to use the language as I feel, what I feel from it when I say it. And I prefer, yeah, and I'm making different choices in when I do. So now I'm thinking also in not saying it to those who don't feel the way that I feel when they hear it from me, I am depriving them. No, no, no. Because that's why I don't simply say it to say it as oh, this is what I say. I will say it when it, yeah, so I don't need to say it. I began by wanting to stop saying I love you as simply a tag on the end of a sentence when talking to someone I care about, or to someone I loved, someone who I felt that I loved. Saying it as simply oh yeah, this is what I say to mom, this is what I say to dad, this is what I say to my brother, this is what I say to my girlfriend. I say it. No matter what I'm feeling, I say it. And it began to not feel like a choice. It began to feel like a habit, more like a tick than a choice that I was making. And then I was struggling with my understanding of it, and so I wanted to stop saying it altogether because of my confusion with what I understood it to be. And while I was figuring out what I understood it to be, so that I could use it confidently and in a way that I felt comfortable with, I began searching for other language to use in place. What would I say about what's physical? And yeah. Or what can I say about what I understand was happening that I would say in place of I love you? And that's when I began finding language that I felt myself connect to and resonate with more intensely. And I have yet been, and my feelings towards finding new language has been the motivator. The feeling that I've had when finding new language and my experience with it has been a motivator for me to continue doing that instead of returning to the word of love. No way. Oh, you died? I had another cable. When did you die? Man, I didn't even fucking notice. Yeah, I didn't bother to look. Well, lesson learned. Let's see. The audio is about an hour. How long is the most recent video? Did it not record at all? Get out of here. That's wild. Well, this is a lesson learned.